Hi, I'm Kevin Clay of One Way Manufacturing, and this is the instructional video for the Wolverine grinding jig. In this video we will be sharpening a bowl gouge, a spindle roughing gouge, a parting tool, a scraper, and a skew. These are tools that can be sharpened with the basic jig, which is the two bases, the platform, and the sliding arm. The first tool we'll be sharpening is a bowl gouge with a traditional grind. Your tool should have about a 45-degree bevel on it, and you should grind the corners back so they won't get in your way when you're turning with them. This tool is sharpened by placing it in the pocket, lining the existing bevel up with the wheel, and then rotating the tool about its own long axis. To make it easier to see what I'm doing on the video, I'll mark the bevel with a marker. If you're having trouble seeing what you're doing, this might be a good idea for you to try as well. Tool goes in the pocket, turn the grinder on, and just touch the tool to the wheel, then lift it up and see where you've touched. I can see there that I've only touched on the heel of the tool, so I have to adjust the arm back a little bit. Check it again. That was a little too much. And now I've got even contact on the whole bevel. So now I just place the tool on the wheel and rotate it. You can see now I've got one even bevel, and the tool, like that, will be ready to use. When I'm done, I shut the grinder off. I don't adjust the arm. I use the tool until it gets dull, and when I come back, it's just a matter of turning on the grinder and you're ready to go again. While you're grinding the tool, keep an eye on the shape that's developing. If it's getting too pointy, grind a little bit more off the point. If the ears or the sides aren't coming back far enough, grind a little bit more off the sides. And that's basically all there is to sharpening a traditional grind bowl gouge. The next tool we're going to do is a spindle roughing gouge. And it's ground very much the same way, but you want a different shape. This tool, you want it straight across the end. You don't want the corners to come back at all. And you want perhaps a little stubbier bevel to give you a little bit stronger edge, because this isn't really a finishing tool, it's more of a roughing tool. So we'll mark the bevel up with a marker. We'll line the bevel up with the wheel and make the same rotating motion to grind this one. Again, turn the grinder on and just lightly touch the tool to the wheel. I've got pretty good contact. I'm going to come back just a little bit there. That's good. You can see I've got even contact on the whole bevel. Now that tool is sharpened, ready to go. When you're grinding this tool, I find that the corners tend to grind slower than the belly of the tool. So I'll spend a bit more time grinding those and try to go a little quicker through this area of the tool when I'm grinding it. So I'll grind like this, and then through the center, and again like that. That'll keep the end nice and square. The next tool we're going to sharpen is a skew. There's a couple of different ways to grind a skew. We make a special jig for holding it, but I'll show you how to do it with the basic jig, and I'll show later on how to do it with the skew grinding attachment. Basically, the skew goes in the pocket, you set it on the wheel, and then to get the skewness on the end, you rotate the tool that way, and then you turn it and rotate it that way, and basically slide it back and forth, and that will get you the skewed angle that you want. So I set the tool in the pocket. That's pretty good there. When I set this tool down, I tend to use the long point much more than the short point. So I'm not too worried if I grind that away, but I want to make sure I keep that. So I'll always set it on the wheel deliberately with the short point down. That way I never damage the long point. Then we flip the tool over. Now I can see I've rotated the tool too much that way, and I'm going to be making my skewed angle too much, so this time I'm going to set it on there and I'm going to grind a little bit more on the long point. Okay, I look good on this side. This side I still have a little bit of the black marker up on the corner. That little bit of black on the bevel, I'm not going to worry about that because it's not going to affect the way the tool cuts. Okay, so there's the skew sharp, ready to go. Again, I'll go and I'll cut with the tool, and when I come back, the pocket is still set up, so I can just sharpen it and I don't have to worry about making any adjustments. A couple of things about a skew. When they come out of the box, they're not really ready to use. These corners here are sharp. What you should do is you should just take them and soften them up on the grinding wheel like so. Soften up the other one. On the corners for the short point, I want a fairly big radius because that's typically where you set the tool for rolling a bead. These corners that are on the same side as the long point, I just want to break those edges because I'll set it on that surface when I'm making a V-cut. So I want a much bigger surface to set it on. The last two tools that we're going to sharpen are a parting tool and a skew. For a long time, people would grind parting tools, presenting them to the wheel like so. But it actually works much better if you can set the parting tool on a platform, presented to the wheel like this. It'll grind the tool much quicker and easier, and you'll actually wind up with a small hollow grind here and a hollow grind here, and that'll actually give you two sharp corners, which will cut the fibers of the wood very cleanly, and then the center point of the tool will peel away the waste. So the platform moves in and out. You've got the angle adjustment here. Again, it's always a lot easier when you're just learning to mark the bevel up with a black marker so you can see exactly what you're doing. And when you're using a platform, it's no different. So I'm going to touch that there. Actually, I look pretty good there. So now you just put the tool up against the wheel. And there's that side sharpened, and then I'm going to set the tool over on its other side and do the other side. And there's the parting tool sharpened and ready to go. The last tool we're going to do in this part of the video is a scraper. Scrapers can come in a lot of different shapes on the end of the tool, and it doesn't really matter. Once you're on a platform, you just reproduce the profile that's on it, or you can of course regrind it to something different. But we're going to adjust the angle of the platform. We're going to move it closer to the wheel. Again, I'm going to mark up the bevel with a black marker so it's easier for me to see what I'm doing. Got to come back still. Touch the tool to the wheel lightly, see what you're doing. I'm more on the bottom there, so I've got to drop the platform down just a bit. Try again. And that looks pretty good there. You can see I've got a lot of the black gone. And there that tool is sharpened, ready to go. Again, I won't adjust the platform if and when I'm cutting with the tool it gets dull before I'm done. I just come back and I'm ready to go. And that's the use of the basic Wolverine grinding jig.